it's too late. Who's gonna tell you things aren't so great? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? Who's gonna pick you up when you fall? Who's gonna hang it up when you call? Who's gonna pay attention to your dreams? Yeah, who's gonna plug their ears when you scream? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? Who's gonna hold it down when you shake? Who's gonna come around when you break? You can't go on thinking nothing's wrong. Who's gonna drive you home tonight? You know you can't go on thinking.
When you'll need a gun. Rational gun owners carry not because it's a weapon, but because it's a shield.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in 11th grade. Nobody was embracing me. Kids were. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing.
John Philip
to have
Sousa
that
led the
hard
reserve
part
nickname
was
that continues to this day.
I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I've got executive producer Bill Huffman with me and the Colonel, Rayford Brown. Gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
Fantastic.
Caught you
I've
off guard
got-
there, Colonel.
I got a recommendation for Joe Biden for his running mate, his female running mate,
Uh-oh. Well, lay it on us. What do you got?
Sarah Palin. I'd vote for her.
Think about it. Think about it.
You know, we were talking about this before the show started this morning, and the colonel pointed out that that the only reason that Payton and McCain didn't win is because they had the damn ticket upside down. Sarah's young and healthy, would have been a fine president, and that daughter and old fart would have wandered off into the Rose Garden somewhere, and we would have got another vice president. Life would have been sweet.
Now, do you guys realize, everybody listening, do you realize what tomorrow is? Do you know what tomorrow is?
Open up day.
We're opening back up for business. Even though it's only 25%. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Think about this now. I want you to think about this.
We have reservations for lunch.
For the last 7 to 8 weeks, we've been hunkered down, businesses closed, economy's going down, stock market dropping, blah, 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 blah. But in the meantime, you knew it was going to come to an end. Sooner or later, it would come to an end. So in the meantime, had you prepared? Have you been preparing? Are your shelves stocked? Are they ready to go for the influx of people wanting to get out and socialize and live life like normal? Have you prepared accordingly? Or have you done what it takes, what is necessary to aid the supply chain so that it doesn't get overwhelmed like when people freaked out without toilet paper and took 3 days worth of supply in 30 minutes? Or are you going to have enough on the shelf so that when those people come in wanting to get their products that they couldn't normally get at your particular store, you're going to be available and not have to freak out and call for resupply? Is it going to carry you through? So tomorrow's a big day. I got a question as well. Doing our part, who do you think the first responders are? We always hear, we want to thank the first responders. We want to thank the first responders. We want to thank our police, our firemen, our medical, and all that kind of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, who are our true first responders? And that would be us.
Exactly. You know, that irritated the heck out of me when I was in 911 service. They'd say, "Oh, our first responders." Dude, the first responders, the guy that was on scene saying, "Hey, I think we need an ambulance. Louis got a Buick parked on his chest."
We are the first responders, and we have done a fantastic job. The secret disease from China hits our shores, unknown, not sure what's going on. The data isn't in, the facts aren't sure. And so for precaution's sake, we follow the lead from our leaders. We hunker down. We do what they suggest to do. And we do a darn good job at it. But as time elapses and we realize truly what this is all about and how it's being handled by the media, pushing an agenda, Democrats pushing an agenda, ladies and gentlemen, it's your host's opinion that although the Wuhan virus may be more serious than the basic influenza because of its contagious capabilities, we haven't even hit the number. Bill, you got the numbers?
Yeah, so far, and remember that our typical number was 80,000. I apologize for earlier comments where I said it was 62,000, but the standard flu for last year was 80,000 in the United States. We're up to 61,500. So
Yeah, but wait a minute. You got a major caveat with that.
absolutely,
You can't trust the numbers. And let's once again reiterate why. And once again, why, once we understand this, how crazy it is we're closing down a country like we did.
I hope you are as tired of hearing me say what I'm about to say to you as you are tired of hearing me say, wash your hands. Look, COVID is big money. Medicare pays a governor, a state, but come on, a governor, $13,000 when he says, hey, Stymie just died of COVID. Before they write the check, they say, oh, well, did you have Stymie on the respirator for a moment before he died? And the governor says, well, certainly. So $13,000 just became $39,000 for each one. I would challenge you when this is all over, count how many respirators New York employed, not the ones they begged for and got and then gave away, how many they actually had in use, And how many people died on COVID? Because I bet they had 15 people on one damn respirator. I'm telling you, it's just dishonest. It's lies and damned lies. This is,
This is reminding me of, I think it was 1981, when the Berlin Wall came down. I watched that wall. I served on that wall. I protected that wall to make sure nobody took it. Okay, so I know about this. When a crack started in the wall from the other side about people being free, and people started noticing, hey, wait a minute, we got something going on here. And the wave of people that came to push against that wall, I'm not talking figuratively, I'm not talking literally, I'm talking figuratively, to push against the wall. The government cracked and let the walls come tumbling down, and East and West Germany finally once again got back together. That's what's going to happen here starting tomorrow. Starting tomorrow, we're going to start realizing this has been hyped up. We've been doing the best we can on the knowledge we were given and being faithful citizens of the country, trying to support this country and get through this. But we're going to realize that, in your host's opinion, that this country is going to catapult itself back into the stratosphere when it comes to economics. The stock market already had one of the major jumps that it's ever seen in the last week. I think when President Trump came in, it was in the high teens, the stock market.
Yep.
It went up to almost 30, or I forget the numbers.
And yesterday closed way up.
I think it was like 24,000,
are
25,000.
The economists are saying, how can this be happening? What with how terrible everything is in the United States and the fact that we're all going to die. But, well, we haven't so far. And by the way, history buffs, I got to say it. Who pushed the first crack in the wall? Ronaldus Magnus.
That's right. That's
right. Ronald
Tear this wall down.
Wilson Reagan. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
There's a lot of people out there who are still fearful of what's going on. I think, respectfully, that's due to a lack of thorough knowledge on the situation. I think we're getting hyped up by the media. In one respect, I have to say, well, it's good that people are listening to the news because they want to be informed. But I don't think the bad side of that coin is people aren't realizing the information coming to them is skewed. It all boils down to November 3rd. The media is in with the Democrats. They're both in with the deep state. They do not want this president. This president is totally contrary to how America has been the last 50 years because they got control of it. I was just looking at, somebody sent me a video. Somebody sent me a video of, not the Green Beret, but the Yellow Beret, and all the different faces that you remember from the 80s, 90s, the odd years. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, do I not want to go back to those times and have those people in charge of this country? When you look at where we've been and what we've done with this president, and then you look back and see what we had, oh my gosh. We're going to take a break, be back in 3 minutes, see you on the other side. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin. Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in names and numbers.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm gonna take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here, Kobayashi Maru. Kobayashi Maru. You'll understand. For those of you who know, you'll be able to pick up on it.
He is such a geek.
If you want to be on the show, ladies and gentlemen, I hope so. I'd love to hear what you got to say. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Check out the social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Numbers are going up there. I really like it. Continue on. It's great. And also at Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. It's going to be a hot show today. We got, I'll tell you what, let me give you an idea of what's coming up on the show. And give us a call if you have something else that's not on the list that you want to talk about. But we've got devotional quotes and announcements. True stories, doubt we'll have time for, but if we do, I'll slip one in there. We got the FBI unfairly and unjustly targeting General Flynn. I mean, you got Kellyanne Conway talking about how we need to get a chill down our spine, finding out what we found out about this. Bill and the Colonel are going to be talking about it as well. I got Jim Crothers' leadership segment coming in the 9 o'clock hour. That's always great. And if you go to the Facebook page at logicnation.us, you get to see the worksheet there that we'll be working off of today. The WHO, and I don't mean the rock band, the World Health Organization, credibility shot to hell with coronavirus adds another disgusting feather to its cap. Masturbation and gender identity taught to 4-year-olds and under. And I've got a screenshot of the page that it tells you. This is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Austin school system.
Yeah, and I talked about this months ago. And not only was it Austin, but there's a couple other places that were promoting it as well in this country here. But for us to think them as a high standard of credibility, the WHO, and they're promoting this, makes me want to vomit. New York City doctor says it's time to open back up. He explains his reasons why. Joe Biden's Tara Reade problem is not going away anytime soon.
Damn it.
One way or another, Joe Biden will not make the White House. Ladies and gentlemen, he's not going to make the White House. He's not going to make the White House for a couple of different reasons. Tara Reade's picking up speed. The snowball's getting bigger. He is mentally becoming deficient. He can't put sentences together, thoughts together. It's embarrassing. And we had this discussion yesterday, Bill. How can his wife let him do that?
God, if you're a family member, if you are a campaign manager, if you are a person, a human who has any decency, and I'm not even talking about love of country. Let's break it down. If I'm talking about common decency, you don't take someone who is in crisis, a dementia crisis mode, and push them to say things. Joe cannot put a damned sentence together. They ask Joe a question. His wife standing next to it answers for him.
That just goes to show you, Bill, that they're not in it for the purity of the country and what it stands for. They're in for sordid gain.
They don't even give a crap about Joe.
They don't. It's all about the end game. And the end game's November 3rd. Who can beat Trump because they want to get it back to the way it was, where they can make their inside deals and run the country they want to. Remember Hillary? She goes, "Those are our planes," as they were flying over. I can't remember what year that was, and I forget who she exactly said it to, but they got the country now, and they're in charge. They got command of the Air Force and the Army, the Navy, all that kind of stuff. That's all they think about. Now, this is something dear to my heart. At-home abortions on the rise due to coronavirus. I didn't even know you could have one at home.
Oh, my God.
When I read this story to you, you're going to go, what? Unbelievable.
You know what? I'm a medic. I understand how these are done. And at the risk of giving you too much information, let me just say it's coat hanger abortions, what they call them.
Well, no, these are pills. And I'll read the story, and you can follow along with it, and you can make your commentary on that.
God.
Trump determined to get the U.S. troops out of Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, can anyone tell me why we're still there? Okay, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Can anybody tell me why we're still there? If we're still fighting and haven't dominated the enemy by now, then we really need to leave, okay? Trump states action against China is coming. Investigations underway by NSA, CIA, and the Defense Intelligence Agency.
Pray to God that doesn't start an actual shooting war.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know where you're going with that. Trump not happy about current results of the investigations. They've got very distinct recommendations coming up. Nothing positive about what happened in China having to do with this subject. I got audio on that as well. Now, before the end of this second segment here, we're going to do devotional and quotes, but I just gave you a list of things we're going to be talking about today. If you got something I didn't mention that you want to talk about, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Tell us what's on your mind. I've been blessed to have the opportunity to do devotionals for many years to a long list of people, and I've been blessed to have it here on this radio show as well. So if you're not into this kind of thing, like I always say every day, stick your fingers in your ear, lower the volume, or maybe just take a chance and listen. You may be pricked where you'll be drawn closer to the Lord, okay? No pressure. Just listen. Take a listen. You might like it. Today's devotional reads, Good morning. I love this passage from the Bible that Paul wrote. The great apostle Paul, showing that he too is one of us, going through the same challenges in life, but always referring back to Christ for his salvation. And this comes from Romans chapter 7, verses 14 through 25, the conflict of two natures. It reads, For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am of flesh, sold into bondage to sin. For what I am doing, I do not understand. For I'm not practicing what I would like to do, but I am doing the very thing I hate. But if I do the very thing I do not want to do, I agree with the law, confessing that the law is good. So now no longer am I the one doing it, but sin which dwells in me. For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is, in my flesh. For the willing is present in me, but the doing of the good is not. For the good that I want, I do not do, but I practice the very evil that I do not want. But if I'm doing the very thing I do not want, I am no longer the one doing it, but sin which dwells in me. I find then the principle that evil is present in me, the one who wants to do good, for I joyfully concur with the law of God in the inner man, but I see a different law in the members of my body, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin which is in my members. Wretched man that I am, who will set me free from the body of this death? Thanks be to God through Jesus Christ our Lord. So then, on the one hand, I myself with my mind am serving the law of God, but on the other with my flesh, the law of sin. Ladies and gentlemen, I finished by saying we all sin all the time, but the Lord knows our hearts. Share the word that no sin is too much for the Lord to forgive through the faith in Jesus Christ. Have a blessed day. That was a long passage, not really, but for the radio it was. And if you go back and read it and you put yourself in there, we all sin, and that fits each and every one of us. I'm sure we've got the fight with the flesh and the spirit going on constantly. So there is hope, and that's Jesus Christ. Now, you know this sound. You can tell me who the author of these quotes are. Give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC. Oh, by the way, you can take your fingers out of your ears and crank up the volume. We plant the seed, sprinkle a little water, and let the good Lord do the growing. Share it with whoever you want, but don't cram it down anybody's throat. Here we go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can tell me who the author of these quotes are, give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, and you win a prize.
All right, I'm going to help you out with these.
All right, number 1. You got to know your limitations. I don't know what your limitations are. I found out what mine were when I was 12. I found out there weren't too many limitations if I did it my way.
Clint Eastwood as Dirty Harry.
I don't know.
Man's got to know his limitations.
2, if you aren't going to say exactly how and what you feel, you might as well not say anything at all. 3, I love to go to the studio and stay there 10 to 12 hours a day. I love it. What is it? I don't know. It's life.
Matt Betros.
Yeah, that's close. 4, you have to be what you are. Whatever you are, you got to be it.
Winnie the Pooh.
And 5, life is rough, so you got to be tough. That may be a giveaway.
Oh, that sounds like John Wayne's nephew, Elmer, Because John Wayne said life's tough. It's tougher if you're stupid.
Tougher. Well, you never know. I can't confirm nor deny what Bill is saying. So you give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. If you think you know the answer to those quotes, give me a call. You win a prize. And don't forget to stream us live at logicnation.us, social media at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, and Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, after the top of the hour news, we play it all over again. We'll be back in 3 minutes to the other side.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. We are definitely on a crazy train, but you know what? I'm staying on this train. It's getting faster, and the G-forces going around those curves are starting to get fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be on the show, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442, April 30th, 2020. Check out the social media at Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter, and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Let me read the quotes one more time. If you can tell me who the author of the quotes are, give me a call. And you win a prize. I got to hide off the camera because you people cheat out there. So, quote number one. You've got to know your limitations. I don't know what your limitations are. I found out what mine were when I was 12. What am I hearing? When I was 12, I found out there weren't too many limitations if I did it my way. 2, if you aren't going to say exactly how and what you feel, you might as well not say anything at all. 3, I love to go to the studio and stay there 10 to 12 hours a day. I love it. What is it? I don't know. It's life. 4, you have to be what you are. Whatever you are, you got to be it. Life is rough, so you got to be tough is the 5th one. There you go. So if you know the answer to the quotes, give me a call. Bill, is your speakers going? Because I hear voices. I'm either hearing voices in my head.
You hear voices?
I'm hearing voices. Okay.
You know, there's a name for that. And we do have some very powerful psychotropic drugs.
I'm sure you do.
Matt, just stay calm. Put the gun down. We can help you.
Let's talk about this story that is so close to my heart here. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, I saw this, and I just had to talk about it. Headline: At-home abortions on rise during coronavirus lockdowns. Programs shipping abortion drugs to women could make state-level abortion debates largely irrelevant. At-home abortions are on the rise during nationwide coronavirus lockdowns due to an experimental program which could theoretically supplant state-level abortion laws which focus on brick-and-mortar clinics. The teleabortion program, you might want to pull that up, teleabortion.com. The teleabortion program has so far mailed abortion drugs to women in 13 states, and over 600 at-home abortions have already been completed since April 22nd, after the program experienced a 30% upswing in interest, according to Live News, which stated that the program was FDA approved. This is a quote from an anonymous mother. She says that the abortion group provided just everything you could need. It was so comforting to be able to abort her unborn baby at home, the outlet stated. The program could make state-level abortion debates largely irrelevant if people can get abortion drugs sent to them discreetly instead of relying on a brick-and-mortar abortion clinic operating within the confines of the state law. Case in point, the teleabortion website says women can qualify for the program if they live in a state where the project operates, or They live elsewhere but are able to have their be able to consult and receive the package in a project state.
Yep, I'm on their homepage. I'm looking at it, Matt, and that's what they're saying is it's kind of handy dandy. You don't have to travel to an abortion clinic per se. Instead, a provider conducts a video evaluation over the internet. All the necessary tests are done at medical facilities close to your home, and then the abortion pills are sent to you by mail. So they can only do this for you if you before you are 10 weeks into your pregnancy. So your baby's heartbeat has only been going on for 50
Oh, that's okay, though.
days.
It's just 10 weeks.
Just 10 weeks.
Just 10 weeks.
Yeah. And to qualify, you must be able to take the first abortion pill before you're 70 days along. Use our pregnancy calculator below to estimate your gestational age. Enter the first day of your last period. Already know you want a teleabortion? Meet the study criteria and live in one of our states? Select your state to get the contact information for our clinic partner. Well, let me see. Guess who's not on there?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I can't get one in Texas.
If men and women are out there having fun and they make a mistake,
you don't make mistakes.
And they come to find out it's an inconvenience for them, and they decide, I'll just pop a couple pills real quick as long as it's 10 weeks, that's disgusting.
Here's the bad news, buddy. You must live in Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, or Washington. Not good old California?
Surprising. Does anybody else have an issue with that? I'd like to have some women call me, please. Really, it's just the same thing when we have all this challenges with Muslims committing suicide and all this kind of stuff. And no, a Muslim would call up and say, hey, I totally oppose that. I think it's crazy. I love America. It's a free country, blah, blah, blah. Well, where's all the women? Where's all the men? I want some phone calls here to show how disgusted you are with the lackadaisical attitude of, oh, it's inconvenient for me to get pregnant, so let me just abort real easy, home, and comfortable like by popping a couple pills. Doesn't that disgust anybody out there? I'm sure it does. Give me a call. Let me know. Am I the only one? I know I'm not.
I don't know, Matt. You may be. Or
Okay.
we may be.
Where do I go from that one? I guess we'll go to a break because in about 12 seconds I'm taking a break. 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live, logicnation.us. Social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host, here with executive producer Bill Huffman and yeah, it was a tongue twister, and Colonel Rayford Brown. We've got you, the listening audience. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Look, I went a little off there. I want to call 866-89-LOGIC. Tell me what you're thinking about this in-home, convenient, pop a pill, kill a baby abortion type deal. We must protect the innocent, okay? So give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Don't forget to stream us live at logicnation.us. Social medias at Facebook, YouTube, Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Since we're talking medical, I had another article here I want to talk about because the people on the front lines, the professionals, are speaking up in video on YouTube that are taken down because it's contrary to what government wants you to hear. Well, I've got a New York City ER doctor here. It says it's time to reopen it. He explains his reasons why. A New York City emergency room doctor who works on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic says the novel coronavirus has run its course and it's time to reopen America. In a New York Post op-ed Monday, St. Barnabas Hospital ER doctor Daniel G. Murphy described he's seen the coronavirus numbers fall in the past few weeks and explained why he thinks lockdown restrictions should be eased. COVID-19, this is quote, COVID-19 has been the worst healthcare disaster of my 30-year career because of its intensity, duration, and potential for lasting impact, noted Dr. Murphy. The lasting impact is what worries me the most, and it's why I now believe we should end the lockdown and rapidly get back to work. Murphy said through March and April, critically ill patients overwhelmed the hospital's facilities for weeks with an unprecedented number of deaths witnessed by staff. It's precisely what I had witnessed that now tells me that it's time to ease the lockdown, and here's why, Murphy says. Murphy says one reason is hospitalizations have dropped and the number of cases have crested, creating natural immunity rather than lockdown orders for the change. At 1 p.m. on April 7th, the COVID-19 arrivals slowed down. It was a discrete, noticeable event. Stretchers became available by 5 p.m., and the number of arriving COVID-19 patients dropped below the number discharged, transferred, or deceased. You with me on this, Bill?
Yes, sir.
This was striking because the community I serve is poor. Some of the homeless. Most work in essential, low-paying jobs where distancing isn't easy. Nevertheless, they have passed over us, peaked and subsided. The way this transpired tells me the ebb and flow had more to do with the natural course of the outbreak than it did with the lockdown. Secondly, Murphy says the coronavirus lockdown has led to patients seeking treatment for non-corona-related illnesses at hospitals and medical facilities. And we've discussed that before. Bill, you and I, we've discussed how cancer patients not getting their treatments because they're afraid to get the coronavirus, how it's causing bad situations for those people.
Yeah, and it's causing a bad situation for the medical people that are getting laid off because they're not allowed to do what they're supposed to be doing.
And this impacts the Hillcrest Cancer Center up at Waco also.
Okay, sir.
You know, cancer is one of those time-sensitive kind of things. After you realize that you've got it, it's time to start treatment ASAP, not when this all blows over.
Okay, before the break, let me finish up this article. It's coming up to its end here. For the last week, Murphy's speaking again, we've averaged fewer than 100 ER room visits. That means our patients in this diverse low-income community are afraid to come to the ER for non-COVID care. It's also led to people dying at home from illnesses that could ordinarily have been easily treated by medical professionals. The growing number dying at home during this crisis must include fatal, and help me out here, fatal myocardial
infarctions.
Right.
This is
attack.
Yep.
Asthma, exacerbations, bacterial infections, and strokes. Moreover, Dr. Murphy says coronavirus fears have been overblown. While COVID-19, let me finish up. I got a little time. While COVID-19 is serious, fear of it being over amplified. The public needs to understand that the vast majority of infected people do quite well. Lastly, the Bronx ER doctor imparts he believes many people have had or spread asymptomatic variants of COVID-19, meaning the public is developing an immunity to the virus. As of today, over 43% of those tested are positive in the Bronx. We are developing a significant degree of natural herd immunity. Distancing works, but I'm skeptical that it is playing a predominant role as many think. Dr. Murphy concludes, while the cases of infected individuals will increase with more testing, America not wait on those numbers and should reopen the economy. We'll be back in a little bit, and give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. If you got something you want to say, you got an opinion, thought, comment, something we're not touching, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. See you on the other side.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, It was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Is your credit card debt stressing you out? From personal
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I got Bill Huffman with me and also Colonel Rayford Brown. If you want to give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Gentlemen, let me play the clip of Kellyanne Conway talking about Flynn's situation, and then you guys can editorialize it and talk.
Yes,
so I've got about a minute and a half here of Kellyanne Conway talking about General Flynn's situation with the FBI. Let's play that first, and let's get set up.
The president was hitting around that he was going to pardon back in March. He said, so now it is reported that after destroying his life and the life of his wonderful family and many others also, the FBI, working in conjunction with the Justice Department, has lost the records of General Michael Flynn. How convenient. I am strongly considering a full pardon. Well, if this is true, and we do have the records, we have a handwritten note with all of the things that they wanted to do. They were going to walk into the White House. They were going to force him to lie so they could prosecute him or get him fired. What's your reaction, and what's the president's reaction this morning?
Ainsley, regardless of your political affiliation and if you even care about voting whatsoever, every American should feel a chill today that federal government officials in high places can come to the White House 4 days into our presidency and come here to try to set up the national security advisor to the president, and the fix was in. Imagine if what was written in the margins of these notes, should we get him to lie or should we get him fired? Imagine if anything like that was in the Mueller investigation of 2 years. Imagine if one of our handwriting was in the margin saying, is today Collusion Monday or Russian Tuesday? Which one is it? They pecked around and hunted around at taxpayer funding for years to find absolutely nothing. This man was set up from the beginning. Probably thought they were coming in to be helpful since we had been on the job for 4 days. The president has made clear for all 3 years that Michael Flynn was treated very unfairly. Now we know it was probably criminal what was done to him. And may I just add that the man had a 3-decade-plus career in the United States military. And he came here ready to serve his country, was gone within days, and now we see the fix was in from the previous administration's people.
So there you go. Kellyanne Conway speaking of General Flynn's situation. Gentlemen, I know you've got commentary on that.
Okay. One of the first things that caught my attention was the way they discussed quietly sneaking in the warning that it's illegal to lie to the FBI. And they were very careful to point out they did not want Flynn to know that he was under investigation or being interrogated.
No, they're just having a little chat.
Yeah, and so that showed their evil intent when they were discussing that, not to mention the guy's quote about, well, what are we looking for, a way to get him fired or a way to get him convicted for lying?
This whole thing, and I'm sorry if this word bores you. I'm sorry if you don't understand big words. It's treasonous. It is treasonous.
It is a coup.
This was an attack against our security advisor. It was an attack against our president. It was an attack against our country. It was an attack against our Constitution. These bastards have gone too far. They have gone what us old people would call beyond the pale, and it's time.
I want to see, I can hardly contain myself waiting for the Bill Barr indictments that I hope are coming down.
Oh, please, God.
And this just has to be some of the stuff. This and all of the FISA court abuses where they lied to and withheld information from the FISA court in order to get the intercepts. So
it goes very deep. There's so many aspects of this. I mean, you go back all the way when he was coming down the escalator, like we've always talked about, all the different ways to get at Trump. Flynn being one, Russia being another. There's so many of them, I can't even keep track of them anymore. I need to post a sign up here in front of the microphone with all the things that the Democrats have done to try to take this president down. One by one, people close to the president or actually the president himself. I mean, it's...
It is criminal.
There's only one reason why people want to go back to the way it was, because it was sordid and profitable for them personally, or it's for the collective soul of a one-world government.
We have to go back to the CFR and to the United Nations. They have a common, written out, published agenda to destroy the United States.
You got it. We'll be back after the top of the hour. See you in about 5 or 6.
One in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Say I love you, then say goodbye. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life. But there's a warm window and the stars around, and I'd really love to see it tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life. But there's a warm window and the stars around, and I'd really love to see it tonight. I'm not talking about moving in, and I don't want to change your life. There's a warm hot town, summer in the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Been down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk, harder than a mattress. Well, tonight it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Despite the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Cool town, meeting in the city, dressed so fine and looking so pretty. Cool cat looking for a kitty, gonna look in every corner of the city till I'm wheezing like different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just like the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city. Shadow in the city, all around people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk, hotter than a match head. But now it's a different world. Go out and find a girl. Come on and dance all night. Just like the heat, it'll be alright. And babe, don't you know it's a pity the days can't be like the nights in the summer, in the city, in the summer, in the city.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It's April 30th, 2020. Feel free to give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. If you want to stream us live at logicnation.us, check it out. And also check out our social media at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. I've got a caller on the line. Susan's on the line. Susan, I'm going to get to you in just a second. Thanks for calling. If you want to be a caller, I'm going to give out the quotes one more time so people can think about it. I've got 5 quotes here. If you can tell me who the author is, give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC. Number 1, you've got to know your limitations. I don't know what your limitations are. I found out what mine were when I was 12. I found out that there weren't too many limitations if I did it my way. 2, if you aren't going to say exactly how and what you feel, you might as well not say anything at all. 3, I love to go to the studio and stay there 10, 12 hours a day. I love it. What is it? I don't know. It's life. 4, you have to be what you are, whatever you are, you got to be it. And 5, life is rough, so you got to be tough. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Okay, let me get Susan on the line. Susan, I want to thank you for calling. And I had asked a question if anybody had a challenge, comment, statement, opinion, support, or whatever for a topic of the in-home abortions. And Susan wanted to follow up on that. So, Susan, thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind?
Hey, Matt. Well, I have experience with this in a lot of ways in my healthcare profession. But I just want to say that these women think they're getting an in-home abortion and that it's going to be easy are completely wrong. It's not easy. Many things can happen. Many things can go wrong. And I'm just appalled that the industry would sink to that low. Their ultimate objective is probably a number of things. One is, of course, to kill the baby, and number 2, it just absolutely destroys people. It destroys relationships with yourself, with men. I have never seen a patient that's had an abortion privately or professionally that hasn't experienced a deep sense of shame and regret. And I think the reason for that is because I've thought about this for many years. In my mind, it's probably the most egregious thing a human can do to oneself and to another human. It's just antithetical to who we are as people. And yet it goes on. And so it falls into the realm of the evil behind it. And there is a lot of evil behind it. The destruction of human life, but the destruction of relationships and of individuals. And I don't know what else to say except that I'm not talking about 1 or 2 abortions that I've been involved in the professional world, and I'm not proud of this, but I'm talking a lot. And whether the patient is awake or waking up from an anesthetic, almost across the board, all of them have a difficult time when it's over in the recovery area. As far as at home, this at home thing has been going on for a long time. It's called the abortion pill, which you take, maybe the morning after or so. And that is, it's extremely graphic. It's painful. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well for the mother, and certainly not for the baby. So I don't know. If we think that 1 in 4 women, at least 1 in 4 women have had abortions, we all know somebody that's been through this and probably suffering some emotional repercussions because of it, due to the shame, due to the guilt and the pain. And in addition, in my mind, it's one of the most emasculating things you can do to a man because they are just basically helpless as far as preventing or stopping it. If the woman is set on doing that. I don't know where else to go with this. I did want to put a plug in that there is a an alternative if you've taken the abortion pill. It's called abortion pill reversal. Highly successful. I've been involved in that work in San Diego, and whether you've taken the first day's pill or 48 hours later the second pill, there still is success with saving some of those babies' lives. But anyhow, I just wanted to touch base because there's immense shame, there's immense guilt with this, and I think it's because this hits at the core of who people are as human. It's just outright egregious. That's all I can say. And so women won't call in.
Well, I'll tell you what, Susan, you could hear a pin drop in the studio. They're listening to every word.
No, I was going to. I just texted my research department to have her provide me with the telephone number for the Hope Pregnancy Center here in Temple.
Does it do reversals?
Does it do reversals? Is that what you asked?
No, they offer an alternative to abortion.
Oh yeah, well they need to get me that.
Susan,
And
I've
I'll
only
get my
got
girlfriend.
I've only got a minute and a half left, so let me ask you a question. Do you
Yes.
Do you see repeat people coming in?
Absolutely. This feeds upon itself. Once you've done it, what worse can you do? I have seen multiple return patients.
Is there any type of commentary as to why they're there, or because like I read an article here, one anonymous woman says it was so comforting and nice and quiet. They make it sound as though it's no big deal. So a young person coming up who might not have had as many life learning experiences, or comes up from maybe not so much of a good home that teaches my way. I think we'll just, for lack of words. What do they say?
The patient,
yes,
the young lady.
The patient.
It doesn't matter. I've seen 45-year-olds. Actually, I knew the families, and it was a disgrace. But regardless, they're just wanting this to get quote unquote over. That's all they can think about. And then the professionals are ensuring them that this is simple, it's easy. We'll take good care of you. That's it.
Susan, I've got to stop you here. I can't thank you enough for calling us.
You're welcome. Bye.
Thank you very much. We learned a lot from that.
Could not have been better. Could not have been better,
Bye.
Susan. God bless you.
I got to take a break. We'll be back in 3. We're going to have Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting, and we're going to be talking leadership. Go to Logic Nation Facebook and check out the worksheet there, and you can follow along. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin. Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I've got Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting. I've got the Colonel Rayford Brown and executive producer Bill Huffman with me, and I got Rick on the line. Rick thinks he knows the answer to the quotes. Rick is a smarty pants. He's a major reader of books, major watcher of documentaries. This guy has got a brain like an encyclopedia, so it's no wonder, Rick, you know the answer. How you doing, buddy?
How you doing? Well, actually, Dad used to tell me this. It was come from Johnny Cash. Is how I know it. He used to say, "Life's tough. Life's rough. You got to be tough."
Isn't that the song, Boy Named Sue? Yeah.
Yeah, it come from the song, but Dad used to quote that to me all the time.
Well, good to go. Okay, you got her, buddy. It's Johnny Cash. I know the drill. But who do you want to go to this time, buddy?
Just, I'll let you decide.
All right, we'll do it. How's things on the road? Everything going okay?
Yeah, everything's doing great, man. Up in Ohio now.
Man, you get all over the place. It must be beautiful country going all the different directions you go to. You see lots of things, right?
See a lot of this beautiful country. I do.
Hey, do you go in Missouri? Do you see the Arch?
Yeah, I just went through there the other day.
Went
right beside it.
That's an amazing thing. I don't know. I mean, people tell me when they go up there, it sways back and forth.
It does. When you get in the carriage, it takes you to the top. You know, you go up a bit and then it pivots, and then you go parallel, and then you go up a little bit more and it pivots some more. Yeah, it's an amazing place.
How much of a sway? Can you feel much of a sway?
Yeah,
2-3
you can
inches?
feel it on a windy day. Of course, on real windy days, they don't take you up there, but yeah, you can feel it.
Rick, let me tell you a story real quick. I'll let you go. But I'm in Chicago doing some business. I'm talking to one of the major execs in an oil company, and if you know what I'm talking about in downtown Chicago, there by the Wrigley Building, I believe it is. There's the Amco. I don't know what they call it anymore, but 2 tall white towers, and I'm way up high in one of the offices there, and I'm talking with one of these executives, and I'm looking out the window to the other building, and you can see the buildings moving. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of weird. And they've got this beautiful marble on the sides of their building with these metal straps, 2 metal straps on each pieces of marble. And I'm going, what are those for? And the exec says, well, they were falling out, so they had to secure them in there. Can you imagine being on ground level, getting a huge chunk of marble falling off one of these buildings coming at you? I mean, that was a poor design, I guess. But it was just a story that will never leave my mind. So that's why I was asking about the archway. I knew it swayed. I was wondering if you happened to see it or have gone up it, actually.
Yeah, I just made a run for Anheuser-Busch out of St. Louis, and I went right beside the Arch.
I've been beside the Arch also, but my experience is a little different. I used to fly backseat F4 with the Missouri Air National Guard, and every 4th of July they have the Veiled Prophet Fair down at the Arch, and we used to do formation flybys on the Arch. We'd have a 4-ship. We'd fly by the Arch.
Fly by to anybody rogue go underneath it?
No.
Yeah, that's not.
Don't do that.
That's not kosher.
Okay. All right,
That
Rick.
would be
We're
your
gonna,
last flight.
we're gonna take care of you on your gift there to somebody. I'll figure out who to give it to. I appreciate your call. You be safe on the road. Okay.
All right, y'all have a blessed day.
You too, buddy. Okay, Jim, talk to us,
Hey,
buddy.
good morning. Good morning, Matt. Good to be here. So this morning we're going to talk about the law of expansion. And, one of
I'm doing that now.
Yeah, that's right. That's
My
right.
stomach. I'm
I
holding my
think
stomach.
a few thousand people might be doing that trip to the refrigerator when you're sequestered at home. But one of the deals or one of the commitments that I made to my own self was I didn't want to journey through this this pandemic or this shelter in place at home without learning something new. I didn't want to waste the time, right? I mean, there was just a desire in my heart to add some new skill to my skill box, to my toolbox, right? So I did that. I hired a coach. I'm working through some processes right now and in my business. And so,
You know what I find interesting, Jim?
What's that?
The coach hires a coach.
That's right.
And I'm always saying that about myself. Whenever somebody comes to my range and they say they've done certain skills, I go,
Yes.
great, I want to learn more. Tell me more. So it's interesting. that you say
Exactly. So hired this coach about a month ago, working through some processes, wrote out a script yesterday. I'm looking forward to going live here with my funnel, with my offer here just in a few short weeks. But I made a commitment. The commitment to myself was I'm not going to allow this time to be wasted by sitting at home and maybe doing nothing or worrying or getting into fear. So hired a coach. Her name is Amy. She's been working with me, and it's been all good. So what I want to talk about this morning is that growth always increases our capacity, right? Growth always increases our capacity. And so, the capacity that, for a runner that is preparing for a marathon, the capacity that they're looking to increase is leg strength, lung capacity, heart capacity, endurance, but those always come with a price, right? There's always a price to be paid for the capacity that we want. And so I'm going to talk about, number one, how to increase your thinking capacity. And the outline is on the Facebook page there if you want to take a look at it. Letter A, number one, is that we need to stop thinking more work and start thinking what works. So in order to increase your thinking capacity, oftentimes we stop short of thinking, oh, it's gonna take more work. Can I tell you something? My coach that I have hired that is working with me, when I hired her, I recognized that it was going to take me more work to get from where I was to where I was going to. So in order to adjust that, we need to stop thinking more work and start thinking what works. Here are a few questions that are ask yourself about what works. Number one, what am I required to do? Letter B, what gives me the greatest return? And letter C, what gives me the greatest reward? So let me repeat that. What am I required to do? What gives me the greatest return? And what gives me the greatest reward?
It's like trimming the fat, right?
Exactly. And so stop thinking more work and start thinking what works. How can I make this work? How can I make this happen? How can I make this work?
Do you mind if I interject to something?
Sure.
I got a question.
Yes.
Do you feel yourself more productive under a time crunch?
Yes, I do. See, some
I do
people
too.
work better like that. Some people,
because it takes out all the fat. He's like, I got to get to brass tacks and get it done. Right?
I got to get done with it. Unfortunately, not necessarily with you, Matt, or myself. Sometimes the reason why people experience the time crunch is because they're procrastinators, right? We wait to the last minute, and then we're squeezed into the corner or squeezed up against the wall of a time crunch, and we don't like that either. But,
when you make the phrase, we wait to the last minute, I do that constantly.
Right.
On purpose.
Oh, okay.
I wait for the last possible minute to get any new updated information that could possibly change my decision as to what I'm about to do.
Yes. If I'm going to go buy a new car, I don't buy right there, right there where I'm at. I always say I have to sleep on this. So I want to encourage the listeners, and if you have a small business, stop thinking more work. If you have a team of employees, this is something you can share with them. Stop thinking more work and start thinking what works. You know, we talked, I think last week about that every problem that we face, there's a solution, right? And there sometimes is more than one solution, all right? So what else can you stop thinking? Stop thinking, can I? And start thinking, how can I, right? And so oftentimes stop thinking, you know, with the question, can I do this? Start thinking, how can I do this, right? There's a big difference when you begin to see the difference in the emphasis there.
And it's not only a visual thing to read it on a piece of paper and say, I see the differences between the two statements.
Right.
It changes you.
Yes.
When you start speaking those words, it actually gives you
energy.
Energy.
It gives you energy and purpose and drive and whatnot. And letter C, stop thinking one door and start thinking many doors. See, oftentimes the mistake that small businesses make or entrepreneurs make, we only look at one door at a time. We need to start thinking many doors of opportunity, many options. You know, what did many restaurants that did not have a drive-through? I'm thinking of a barbecue restaurant down in Belton that was always sit down. It was a nice spot, a nice restaurant, good food. It was clean, wonderful space. But guess what? During the sheltering in place, guess what? They created on a pickup drive lane on the side of the curb where you could go and pick up your barbecue or your chicken or your desserts or whatnot. And so we need to stop thinking we only have one option and start thinking many options, many doors, many opportunities.
And by the way, that barbecue place I know has got a fantastic bartender. Okay, we'll take a break. Be back in 3 with Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting. See you on the other side.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work.
Sorry, I'm late.
Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I'm with Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting. I got the Colonel, Rayford Brown, and executive producer Bill Huffman is with me as well. Got you, the listening audience, and give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. You know, ladies and gentlemen, when I have experts come into the show here, it's a fantastic way for you to give a call to get free advice. Doesn't cost you a dime, from people who are doing it, been in it, got great experience from it, and are very willing, anxious, and ready to convey and answer questions that may possibly help you. So take the opportunity now to give us a call if you got a question for Jim, or if you want to arrange something with Jim where he can help guide you in your business, because this would be a great opportunity. I mentioned it earlier in the show today. I hope everybody's been prepared. You had about 2 months, 7 to 8 weeks to get prepared for the day that you knew would soon be coming, and that is opening up the businesses. So make sure you got your products ready, your stores cleaned up, your personnel is going to be helping's right, parking's good, everything's good to go, because by being proficient like that, you will minimize the effect on the supply chain. Because the fear was of opening up 100% for two reasons. One, everybody's together and you get an upswing in cases. And the other thing is you over demand on a supply chain that can only handle a certain amount per day. As we saw back when everybody was scarfing up the toilet paper, the stores couldn't handle it. So by doing this now, we're getting ourselves prepared and doing our part. So with that, Jim, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, it's all part of this capacity thing. So we're talking about how to increase our capacity. Number one, how to increase your thinking capacity. We just talked about that. Now, how do we increase our capacity for action? How do we do that? Letter A, stop doing only those things you have done and start doing those things you could and should do. This is so important. Oftentimes, we get comfortable in playing average, playing small ball, playing it safe by only doing those things that we've done in the past, all right? That's small-minded thinking. And so if we want to increase our capacity for action, we got to start doing some things that we could and should do. Now the result is going to be this. You'll succeed at many things that you do, and you also will fail at some of those things. But it's not a fatal failure. It's learning to fail forward, right? Failing forward with action. So stop doing only those things that you have done and start doing those things you could or should do. So the question you have to ask yourself, what are some of the things I could or I should do? So for me,
it's not failure. That's everybody makes mistakes and
Yes.
fails. It's how you react to the failure.
Exactly. And so, if we would just stay in the comfortable zone, remember, growth only happens uphill, right? All growth happens always outside our comfort zone. Yeah, Matt.
I think an adjustment maybe
Yes.
on doing more than what you've been doing is maybe reducing what you've been doing Because a lot of times there's things that we've been doing
Yes.
that's actually a waste of time.
Yes, exactly. And so stop doing only those things that you have done, but I mean tasks or abilities. For me, my business was basically built face-to-face business. Now I had to pivot online, and so I'm getting the help and the coaching I need so I can gather some more clients with my new online business that I'm offering. So guess what? It's a learning curve. And so, it's been challenging for me. I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's challenging. But, everything worthwhile is uphill, right? Isn't that so true? Everything worthwhile is uphill. Growth only happens outside our comfort zone. So stop doing those things you have done and start doing some things you could or should do. Letter B, stop doing what is expected of you and start doing more than what is expected, right? So I want to say that again. Stop doing what is just expected of you and start doing more than is expected.
That would be like just getting by.
That's right. We don't want to do it. We don't want to. This is not the Just Getting By club right here. On KTEM on Thursday at 9 a.m. or so. It's not just the getting by. We want to do more. I want to exceed expectations. So if you hire me as your coach, or if you hire me as your consultant, I want to exceed every expectation that you have of me. And so I ask simple questions of people I'm working with. Am I hitting the target? How's your team doing? I'm working with a team up in Colorado right now. And I always ask that question, not because I'm insecure, but because I want to hit the target. I want to exceed the expectations. Even after the radio program here, many times I said, Matt, did I hit the target? And I ask him that question. Why? I want to exceed Matt's expectation of what he should expect on a Thursday visit from Jim Carruthers. So stop doing only what is expected of you and start doing more than is expected. Letter C, stop doing important things occasionally and start doing the important things daily. I want to say that again. It's worth repeating. Stop doing important things occasionally. And oftentimes we wonder why our leadership is in disarray. We wonder why we're not hitting the target, not hitting our numbers. And the reason why oftentimes that happens is that we don't do those things daily, right? So stop doing important things occasionally and start doing important things daily. So I have a group of people that I've been working with on Tuesdays. We do a Zoom call, have a mastermind group that met in person, and now we're online doing this. And the challenge that I gave to them was all of them have a great customer base. All of them have a great product that they are selling, that they are offering to the community. And so one of the things I said to them, I said, in order to get ready for the reopen of the state of Texas, you need to be doing some things right now where you couldn't do, where you'll be able to do things later on. That's connecting up with your audience.
We're going to be back in just 3 minutes. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, April 30th, 2020. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Check out the social media at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Don't forget, at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, after the 11 o'clock news, it'll replay all over again. I've got Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting here. Excellent opportunity for you to give us a call, ask him some questions, get some advice, get some training. And I try to get somebody in here every day almost who are experts in their field, and it's just a great opportunity for people out there, if it pertains to them, to give a call. So we got a call coming in now. We'll see what happens. But Jim, go ahead, buddy. Take it away.
So let me kind of review. Number one, we were talking about how to increase your thinking capacity. In other words, just think, right? And I'm a firm believer that every problem, every challenge has a solution.
It does.
And so sometimes you have to get a group of people around a table where you kind of you just kind of lay your pride at the door, and then you share the challenge that you're having, and have those individuals that are sitting around the table, we call that a mastermind group, help you solve or help provide you with solutions. And then whatever the solution you come up with, you agree with it, be accountable. Right.
In the first segment, I used the term Kobayashi Maru, and for all you Trekkies out there, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's a test for a no-win scenario. And in a no-win scenario, there's always something to do.
Yeah.
So in the worst-case scenario of a Kobayashi Maru scenario, there's always a solution in any situation that we have.
Right.
There's going to be a solution. We may not like it, but it's going to be a solution.
It may create. So number one, increase your thinking capacity. Number two, and then we talked about how to increase your capacity for action. In fact, every person I work with, Matt and Colonel, every person I work with, I always ask them this question: Are you committed to doing this? And I ask them a percentage. How committed are you to achieving this particular goal? And if they say, well, I'm committed about 70%, I'm thinking, nah, we need to have another conversation. You're not committed at all. But if you're committed 100%, or there might be a little bit of doubt, I'm committed to 99%. That's good. And so we want people to take not just little action. I encourage people to take massive action, right? To jump, what I would say, and build your wings on the way down, right? You just jump and you go for it. And you build your wings on the day down. So we want people to increase their capacity for action. And last, we want to expand your capacity to expand your impact. If I want to have a greater impact in my business, if I want to have a greater impact in whatever I achieve and set out to do, I'm going to need to expand my impact.
Jim, we've got a caller on the line who wants to ask you a question.
Sure.
I got Raymond on the line. Raymond, as always, it's a pleasure to get you on. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Yes, sir. This is Open Lines Friday, right?
Well, it is 24 hours in advance, but go ahead.
Okay, well, I just didn't, since I just came back from Bangkok, I got jet lag. I didn't know where I was. Okay. Mr. Carruthers, I wanted to ask you a simple question here, sir. We're all humans. We all think. Everybody thinks alike, acts alike, has different ways of living. But what the deal is, I'm wanting to ask you is this. No matter how hard somebody tries to do a certain thing, that they can't ever achieve what they want to do because for some reason they can just get so far with it. For an example, if you have a person that likes to run track and he wants to run the 100-yard dash and he trains at that, he's just going to get to that certain level. He ain't ever going to be a gold medal champion ever, but he likes to do what he does, but he can just get to that certain level in his life.
Hey, Raymond.
And that's with anybody.
Raymond, do me a favor. Do me a favor.
Curiosity.
Raymond, lower your radio, please.
Yeah, let me get out of this room. Okay.
Go ahead now.
Yeah. It's just something that I'm just thinking about. Why there are some people that, have more talent than you do and some don't, and y'all both put in 200% of what you want to do, but somebody exceeds better than you do on whatever that they try to do. And I always kind of wondered about that. Why is that? And no matter how much you put into it, you just never get there for some reason.
Well, I'll tell you what, Raymond, that's a good comment. Let me let Jim think about it over the next 3 minutes because we got a hard break coming up. I appreciate the call.
That'll be fine, sir. Okay, well, thank you. You have a good day. Thank
you
you,
too.
sir.
Keep a listen. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. See you on the other side.
One in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Sweet strawberry icing. You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh, my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi. Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, April 30th, 2020. And I got Jim Crothers with Crothers Consulting. I had Raymond call on the last segment, asked a question. Jim is going to follow up on that. If you want to be on the show, give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Don't forget, stream us live, logicnation.us. You get to see a whole bunch of stuff on the other side of the mic when the mics are off. It's kind of amusing. Anyway, Jim.
Yeah,
welcome.
so, I think, Raymond, great question. I think you're talking in terms of ability, right? So if you said to me, I could never go, I should say never. It wouldn't be in my best interest to go to college and study to be a brain surgeon. Why? I don't have the mental capacity at this particular time or the desire to be a student like that it would take for me in order to have the skill to be a brain surgeon, right? I don't have the desire. I don't have the bandwidth that it would take and require for me to study. It's just not in my interest. It's not in my, I can't. I would never be able to do that.
It's not your gift. It's not
my gift. It's not in my
you.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's not in my desire. So I think there are some things when we take there are natural God-given abilities in our genes, in the way we've been built, in the way we've been wired. Why are some men faster than others? I don't know. But, there are limitations at times when it comes to our ability to be successful at, take, for instance, President Trump. I've said this dozens of times. For the life of me, I cannot fathom how that man can take the criticism that he has taken for the last 3 years. I mean, and he stands up there day after day and hit after hit. And at the end of the day, he's still standing. I mean, it's beyond my, ability for reason on how he can withstand some of the abuse that he has taken during the last 3 years. It's amazing, right? And so that is the DNA that God, our creator, has gifted Donald Trump to be able to have, that resiliency, the ability to stand in the fire and not faze him, or it doesn't look like it phases him. But that is the giftings and the abilities that God, our creator, has given to us. So why can some run a world speed 100-yard dash quicker than others, and some would be training forever and ever? I don't know the answer to that. But definitely there are people out there that have that ability.
Jim, I would like to think, and this, you can call this my own personal prejudice, I would like to think that part of the reason that my president, I don't know about y'all, he is my president, can withstand this storm is because I keep him prayed up every day.
Yeah.
I pray hard for him. I pray hard for his family. I pray hard for those, and I'm picky, I pray for those leaders who are trying to guide the United States to freedom. So I'm sorry, Sheila Jackson Lee, I don't think you made the list, but I pray for our company, or our country. I pray for our president to keep him strong. He's amazing in his 70s, running on 4 or 5 hours of sleep at night?
Yeah, exactly.
I get up in the morning and I see tweets from him that are 3 and 4 hours old.
Right.
He's amazing.
He is.
So I think you're right. I think some people are built to a purpose.
Right.
And I think that's the purpose that he was built to. And I guess maybe my purpose is to pray for other people, and I'm so fine with that.
Yeah, so we want to talk about, in this segment, expanding my capacity to expand my impact. You know, when my days are done and there's a eulogy about Jim Crothers, you know, the eulogy that I want people to hear is that I made an impact on people's life. I made a positive impact. I made a positive impression on the impact that I had with others. And so letter A, and until Matt stops me here.
I'm going to stop you now because we're coming up to the top of the hour break. So everybody think about what we've been talking about, take some notes, and when we come back after the top of the hour break, we'll have Jim Crothers finishing up your, I think you got, what's it called? The
expand your impact, or expand your capacity, expand your impact.
There you go. So we'll be back in 5 to 6. Take some notes. Give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. We'll be back in 5 to 6 minutes.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Watching shadows move across the wall feels so frightening. I wanna run to you, I want to crawl, but I've been hit by lightning. Just can't stand up the falling apart. Can't see through the spell across my heart over you. You'll always too deep over you. You'll always be the one. You were the first to be the last. Wherever you go, I'll be with you. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Wherever you go, I'll be with you.
We still have time, might still get by. Every time I think about it, I wanna cry. The bombs and the death, and the kids keep coming. The way to breathe easy, no time to be young. But I tell myself that I must do it right. There's nothing left to do tonight. Crazy on you, crazy on you. Let me go crazy, crazy on you. Love is the evening breeze touching your skin, the gentle sweet singing of leaves in the wind, the whisper that calls after you in the night, and kisses you here and there in the light. And you don't need no one else, you're doing fine. My love, the pleasure's mine. Let me go crazy on you, crazy on you. Let me go crazy, crazy on you.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time.
Ugh.
Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, April 30th, 2020. I've got Jim Crothers from Crothers Consulting, Colonel Rayford Brown, Executive Producer Bill Huffman with me as well. And we got you, the listening audience. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. And Jim is doing his leadership segment here on the show, and we're waiting with eager ears, Jim.
So the last part is, when I expand my capacity, I expand my impact, right? I want the listeners to listen to that. When you expand your capacity, you expand your impact. When you expand your influence, you expand your impact. So letter A, your impact is a direct function of your capacity. If I want to have a greater impact in my life, I got to grow my capacity, right? I got to grow my capacity to know more, be more, do more. I got to be able to achieve more. I got to be able to grow my capacity. The thing that I hold within me has to grow, right? And so no matter what we want to achieve, think about the things you want to achieve right now.
So let's say I wanted to lay suppressive fire. The more capacity I have in my firearms, the more impact I'll have, right?
Yeah, I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good, right?
It's
sounds
truthful,
good.
though, I'll tell you.
So your impact, my impact, our impact is a direct function of my capacity. Letter B, there is nothing in your past that determines your future. Your capacity must grow. I love my friend Les Brown. If you've never listened to Les Brown, Google him, watch him. He is a orator of the very, very best. And he said, listen, folks, he would say to us, he would say to me, your history will not dictate your future. I mean, you can allow your history, you can allow the story of your past to dictate your future, but guess what? There is nothing in your past that determines your future. Your capacity must grow. And so the only thing that determines my future is my capacity. And letter C, ask yourself this, where is your impact right now? Where is it? If you're a small business owner, where's your impact right now? If you're an employee working on a team, where's your impact right now? No matter what, where's your impact right now? Now ask yourself, where would you like your impact to be? Where would you like it for it to be? Would you like for it to remain the same? Would you like for it to grow? So the difference is the limits of your capacity, right? And so, how have I increased my capacity? I hang around people whose capacity is bigger than mine. I hang around people who is bigger and badder than myself. If I want to be challenged in any area of my life, I need to find someone that's better, not equal to, not less than, but I need to find someone whose capacity is bigger than myself, and then my capacity and my leadership and my influence will grow. I'm in for not being average any longer, right? And I have, I want my capacity to grow. Colonel?
No, I was going to make a joke about fighter pilots all say they're the world's greatest.
Yeah.
So this would be a real problem for them.
Yes. So we want our impact to grow. And the key is this. Now ask yourself, what would you like for your impact to be? In every area of my life, if I want to be a better believer, I hang around with better believers and stronger believers. If I want to have more faith, I don't hang around with people with less faith than me. I hang around with people with more faith than me. Yeah. Yeah.
What would be your advice to somebody when they're applying what you're teaching?
Yes.
That would be, okay, enough energy has been put into this. It's just not working, or it's not going to change, or I can't accomplish the mission at hand.
Yeah.
Is there any advice on that?
That's a sobering, it takes a sober man and a woman to come to that admission. I will never be able to run the 100-yard dash less than 10 seconds, no matter how much you've trained, no matter what. But there comes a time, Matt, I think that reality has to speak to us, that this is your God-given gift, and you have maybe reached your capacity in that particular area. But that's a great question.
In some areas, you could say, okay, I've done enough. I spend enough money. I spend enough time, and I can see the progression not getting any further. But in other areas, it's almost it's a commitment that you have to continue on, whether you see results or not. So I guess you got to figure out.
Yeah, if it's your passion, if you're doing your passion, you're going to be okay. But if you're doing something that's not in your passion, then it's easy to back out, right? And so, my passion as a consultant, as one that connects with people, I don't see myself as ever quitting or ever stopping or ever backing out of this. This is my passion. I love doing this. I love these conversations that we have every Thursday about leadership because, you know, someone once said, when one teach, two learn, right? And so not only are the listeners listening to my voice and you guys here in the studio are hearing what I'm talking about, but my capacity is growing at this very moment. My ability to lead, my ability to teach, my ability to instruct is leading. Yeah, Colonel?
It's whenever you try to teach something is the first time you really learn it. And this applies to teaching flying or leadership as you're doing.
That's so true.
And even I have learned so much about the Constitution preparing for these daily classes. And
right.
Yeah, I want to add on to that too. In my classes, I have different types of people coming in all the time.
Right.
So although the material's basically the same, certain parameters that must be taught, you learn on different ways on how to get through and break the wall of this particular person who's not catching it right off the bat because of their personality or whatever. And you got to think, how do I get past this personality? So you learn there too. You're learning personalities, how to handle people, new tricks of the trade to convey the message and how it works. So this is so many things you learn when teaching. You're right.
Exactly. So one of the things, to Matt, just to add on to what you just said in your question earlier, sometimes it's a mindset issue. The reason why I don't excel in a certain area, I have a mindset issue that I'm not good at math, right? And so, sometimes it's not an ability issue. Sometimes it's not a capacity. Well, it is, it's the way I think.
Well, due to lack of time, I was basically getting at, like, let's say you're in a team environment.
Yes.
And you're gung-ho and ready to go, but everybody else is lackadaisical. It's almost hard to accomplish the goal.
Yes,
at hand.
it is. It is. It's a challenge. You got that right. Yeah, very good. So if you guys would like to continue the conversation with me, feel free to call me on my cell phone. My number is 254-493-0460. You can reach me, leave a text, send me a text, give me a call. I would love to continue the conversation. And if I can help you or your team achieve your goals, it's not my goals, it's your goals for your organization, feel free to give me a call, and we'll have a conversation over the phone, and then you can make a decision on whether or not we would be a great fit.
Jim, it's always a pleasure. It's perfect timing for the break, but we got enough time to give your information out one more time.
Yes. Yeah, 254-493-0460. Feel free to call or text me at any time.
All right. Very good. Jim, it's always a pleasure having you, and thank you for taking the time to talk to us. And when we come back, we're going to have the Colonel Rayford Brown talking Constitution. So get your note-taking material ready as well. It should be out by now because of Jim. And we'll be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Petros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Divorce attorney Ed Laughlin. Is your marriage on the rocks? Have you been wanting to get a divorce but just haven't found an attorney that you can afford? Well, your search for an affordable attorney is finally over. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and I've been helping Texans get fast, inexpensive, hassle-free divorces for 25 years. I offer reasonable fees and always allow my clients to pay out their fees in payments that they can afford. Call me today at 773-8399 or toll-free 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment to get started. The first visit is always free. What are you waiting for? Call Ed Laughlin today at 1-800-492-2589 or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589 or online at edlaughlin.com. That's 1-800-492-2589. Let Ed help you with all your legal needs. You'll feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad in Names and Numbers.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Tell me what's on your mind, 866-895-6442. And if what's on your mind is clean, I'll let you say it on the air. If not, I'll press the dump button. Okay, just in advance warning. But stream us live at logicnation.us, social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio. We've also got YouTube and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And we were discussing, we're going to postpone the Colonel's constitutional segment until the 10:30 break because I forgot we had talked about
Council on Foreign Relations,
foreign relations, the Trilateral Commission, the UN. They all got their mission statements, and they're basically think tanks. I know the CFR is, and the Trilateral Commission. They're think tanks, which has many people, well-recognized names in U.S. government positions that are getting influenced by the way the people who run these think tanks think. And when they go back to work on Monday through Friday, they have a tendency to employ those thoughts that were impregnated into their brains during their think tank sessions. So with that lead, sir, go ahead.
Well, the Council on Foreign Relations has been around since 1919, right after the League of Nations failed Edward Mandell House started the Council on Foreign Relations. And it has a lot of big money names in it because they use the government power to pass around great contracts among themselves and keep themselves rich. But the Council on Foreign Relations has a goal of one world government, and it's a published, stated goal. Of the 16 candidates that ran with Trump, or the 16 Republican candidates, Trump is the only one that does not have any affiliation with the Council on Foreign Relations. And because he is an independent and they have no control of him, the deep state is trying desperately to get rid of Donald Trump.
Making sense now? Is the picture getting clearer? Should I read the mission statement now?
Yes.
Let me read the mission statement for the CFR. The Council on Foreign Relations is an independent, nonpartisan membership organization, think tank, and publisher dedicated to being a resource for its members, government officials, business executives, journalists, educators, and students, civic and religious leaders, and other interested citizens in order to help them better understand the world and the foreign policy choices facing the United States and other countries. Founded in 1921, CFR takes no institutional positions on matters of policy. CFR carries out its missions by maintaining a diverse membership, including special programs to promote interest and develop expertise in the next generation of foreign policy leaders. Convening meetings at its headquarters in New York and in Washington, D.C., and other cities where senior government officials, members of Congress, global leaders, and prominent thinkers come together with the CFR members to discuss and debate major international issues. Supporting a studies program that fosters independent research, enabling the CFR scholars to produce articles, reports, and books, and hold roundtables that that analyze foreign policy issues and make concrete policy recommendations. 3 more points. Publishing Foreign Affairs, the magazine, the preeminent journal of international affairs and U.S. foreign policy. Sponsoring independent task forces that produces reports with both findings and policy prescriptions on the most important foreign policy topics. And finally, providing up-to-date information and analysis about world events and American foreign policies on its website, CFR.org.
And
Talk
their
persuasion.
magazine, Foreign Affairs, anything that's published in that usually becomes U.S. policy within a year. And they publish a position in Foreign Affairs. The members of the CFR within our government tend to implement it.
Yeah, it's basically a broadcast saying, hey, this is what we're doing, all you minions who aren't in the actual meeting, but we're going to talk to you. I got a caller on the line. I got Rick on the line. Let's see what he's got to say. Rick, it's a pleasure. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind, buddy?
What?
Rick, you with me?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm here now. Yeah, listening to y'all and Jim Carruthers, and you mentioned earlier that I do a lot of reading. I do. But I just think everybody needs to know how I started reading. I didn't have the money to go out and buy all the books I wanted to read, so I joined the 3% Club. The 3% Club is there's only 3% of the people in this country that have a library card, and they're free. And at the library, there's any book you want to read.
Clear cut and to the point. Absolutely right, Rick. And heck, they should be able to do it online as well, too, right?
Yeah. Well, now I buy Audible. Like, I just bought 50 classics for to improve your finances.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Benjamin Franklin, Napoleon Hill, I don't know, Peel.
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah. And it was for less than $1. I bought that book, and it's got all of those books, and it's got 50 books in it for less than $1.
It'd be interesting to know if people actually know where their city library is and how to function it and use it, because they got computers there as well, too.
Corner of 3rd and Adams.
I was listening. Grow your capacity is what he was talking about. It made me think everybody needs to understand that they have access to the books, and it don't cost them anything.
That's right. That's a good point, Rick. Appreciate you reminding us of that. Just a matter of what each person's motivation is. Is it gaming or is it reading?
You got to do it self-motivated. I mean, you got to get it kicked in gear.
Now, this brings up another point, too, Rick. People like you, hopefully somebody like me and others in this room have circles of influence. And maybe there are some who are maybe not into the reading aspect or learning aspect. Well, maybe through osmosis of us leading by example, we can persuade some of those people to become in that crowd of more knowledgeable and aware of how things work, because it's vitally important. The United States is the goose, and the golden eggs are all the benefits and blessings we get from it. So we can't strangle the goose, otherwise we start losing the eggs. But Rick, I appreciate the call, Rick. We're tight on the schedule here, so I appreciate the call. Thank you, sir. Okay.
And Foreign Affairs is the current issue that's on the internet here. Finding a vaccine is only the first step. So world vaccinations is coming up. This is one of the things. And then COVID-19 could bring down the trading system and how to stop protectionism. And this is an attack on Trump's policies of dealing with China with the tariffs and things, which had not been done previously by previous administrations that were run by the CFR.
There's what they present to us in the news, because the news is in on this big time. I'm not going to say everybody, but a majority of the media is the face or the cover, or I don't know what else you want to say, but they cover. And I'll tell you what, Rockefeller one time, it's got a quote, and I think I've got it here somewhere, and I'll read it if I can find it.
It's one world government. If he's accused of wanting a one world government, then he stands proud of being charged.
Here it is. This is David Rockefeller, who is chairman of the CFR and Trilateral Commission when he was alive. He goes, "It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if it had been subjected to the lights of publicity during those years. meaning they had the media. If you looked at all the names of the people involved with the CFR, there's almost every media outlet in there or out there is in the CFR. So if they're there with the CFR and they're following the brain power of the leaders and the mission statement of the CFR, they're going to cover for the CFR. To continue the quote, it says, the world is now more sophisticated and prepared to march towards a world government. The supranational sovereignty of an intellectual elite and world bankers is surely preferable to the national autodetermination practiced in past centuries. So what he's saying there is, if it wasn't for you guys covering us, the media, we would have been found out by the public long ago when they were still knowledgeable, intelligent, and motivated and patriotic. Now we have a large portion of people who have been dumbed down, who could care less, who are going socialism, and they'll just give me my toilet paper and my gaming, and I'm happy.
Well, that you're setting me up perfectly for a constitutional convention.
What a segue, right? All right, we got only about 40 seconds to go here, but it's important to know the histories of these establishments because you can see how they can persuade people. They're probably being paid off, and like the colonel was saying, they do inside business deals with each other to keep each other rich. It's a nice, tight group. It's the little niche. It's the secret societies.
The governor of Michigan, Democrat, passed out all the contracts to her friends.
My, now isn't that interesting? All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have Colonel Rayford Brown talking. Actually, what's the headline, the title?
The Constitutional Convention and the
Which is article?
Proposals by the Convention of States.
Section what? Article what?
It's Article 5, Amendment Process.
There we go. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin. Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
One in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working. Who, me? Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. We've got Bill Huffman with us, Colonel Rayford Brown, and the Colonel is now he's had the beautiful segue to talk about the constitutional segment. And, Colonel, it's all yours.
All right, Article 5. How do we want to amend the Constitution if there's something that needs to be fixed? And is it really that our Constitution needs to be fixed, or is it just that we need to follow the one that we have? Article 5, as we recall, had two ways of having amendments. We could have two-thirds of both houses of Congress propose an amendment and send it out for ratification by three-quarters of the states, either via the legislatures or via conventions. Or two-thirds of the states could request Congress to call a convention to propose amendments. And the latter is the way that we want to, or what we want to talk about today. Now, there's an organization, Convention of States Action, that is raising money and pushing very hard for a convention of states to call one. And it is my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of other organizations, the John Birch Society, that a convention of states is very dangerous. A runaway convention, they would call it, but actually it's not runaway. It's just being held in accordance with our Declaration of Independence, which says that the people have a right to abolish or change their government if it's not serving their ends. So let's look at some of the things that the Convention of States is saying and some of the proposals that they came up with. In September of 2016, they had an invitation-only simulated convention, and they had some pre-planned proposals that they put forward to the convention to pass. And the membership, the delegates to this convention, were all hand-picked, and most of them were legislatures from the different states, conservative Republican legislatures. There were only a handful of Democrats invited to this convention. And let's point out that Congress will set who goes to the convention, and if we have the current, as Matt mentioned earlier, group of people, AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Schiff, these type of people on the convention, how will it turn out? Will it be a little different than when we had our original founders that didn't have parties? But one of the proposals, fiscal restraint. The public debt shall not be increased except upon recorded vote of two-thirds of each members of the Congress, and only for a period not to exceed 1 year. But already we have Article 1, Section 8, which authorizes the federal government to only participate in 17 different areas, or 18 if you count the necessary and proper clause. But this, if we followed that part of the Constitution, 80% of the federal expenditures would be cut. It would be returned to the states where they could make their own decisions. No state, Section 2 of this thing was no state or any subdivision thereof shall be compelled or coerced by Congress or the president to appropriate money. Well, there's no authorization in the Constitution now for the federal government to do anything to the states. The 10th, the 9th, and 10th Amendments reserve all rights not specifically delegated to the federal government or prohibited to the states and to the people. So that provision means nothing. The provisions of the first section of this amendment shall take effect 3 years after ratification. All right. Right now, amendments to the Constitution, the common period set by Congress is 7 years for the ratification, a limit. So that would mean 10 years from the implementation. And the Convention of States says that this is an instant cure for the problems of the government. 10 years is not instant, in my opinion. The real instant fix is Article 6, which was specifically provided where all officers of the cities, states, and counties, sheriffs, military officers, all take an oath of office, all legislators, to support and defend the Constitution. And that term, support and defend, means to enforce. So if our officials don't enforce the Constitution on the federal government, there is no restriction on the federal government, and that's what we see right now. Let's look at another one here. Congress shall have the power to regulate commerce among the several states, shall be limited to the regulation of the sale, shipment, transportation, or other movement of goods, articles, or persons. Did you catch that word, persons? This would give the federal government a new power to regulate travel between the states for people. Show your papers. May we have your papers, please? This sounds like traveling behind the Iron Curtain. The power of Congress to make laws that are necessary and proper to regulate commerce. All right, we have that now, and it's being Congress has taken over this, and now they use any action between states as being interstate commerce, and that they have control over it. If it has any impact beyond the state, it's interstate commerce.
Good timing, Colonel. We'll take a break. We'll come back in 3 minutes and continue on. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, CN3.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas. And our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Arch Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, April 30th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I've got the Colonel Rayford Brown talking Constitution. And, Colonel, where are we at now on this?
Okay, now let's talk about two other proposals. One of them was on the executive jurisdiction, the federal executive orders that are being written, and also the administrative three-letter, four-letter departments underneath the executive branch that were not authorized. And we'll also talk about term limits briefly. One of the proposals was that the legislature of the state shall have authority to abrogate any provision of federal law issued by Congress, President, or administrative agencies of the United States, whether in the form of statute, decree, or other order, regulation, rule, opinion, decision, etc. And then they put a limit on it. Such abrogation shall be effective when the legislature of the 3/5 of the states approve a resolution declaring the same provisions are abrogated. Well, we already have in Article 6, everybody has the right. I have the right. You have the right. The sheriff has a right not to enforce. Some sheriffs are even using that with the Second Amendment. But our state officials, they have a duty to support and defend the Constitution. And laws that are made in pursuance of the Constitution are the only laws that are the supreme law of the land. If it's not authorized by the Constitution, it's null and void. So this requirement to have 3/5 of the states agree to nullify something is a huge restriction that we don't need. We already have much more authority than this. And there's nothing in the Constitution. All legislative powers are reserved to Congress. The president has no authority to issue executive orders that apply outside the executive branch. He can make anything he wants for the executive branch, but that's the only place it applies. It's technically, George Washington was the first president to issue an illegal executive order when he authorized Thanksgiving. So,
if they were only that bad.
Well, if they were only that well-intentioned. All right, let's look at term limits. They're proposing that no more than 6 term limits, 6 terms in the legislature or 2 terms in the Senate. So that's 12 years for each one. But what does term limits really solve? Everybody's looking for a quick fix. But the Founding Fathers knew that the only way that you could have people get what they want, and an educated electorate was the only way to control Congress. If you put in people that lie, then you're going to get liars in Congress. And we have, in our school systems, quit teaching civics and the history of the Founding Fathers. In our high schools, and we have no history before 1870. We don't teach the Civil War. We don't teach the Founding Fathers anymore. Colleges, you can graduate from state colleges and don't have to take Texas or federal history. So we're forgetting our past. We didn't have to rewrite the books. They just hit them in the corner and threw them away. So term limits is not a substitute for voting in knowledgeable people. Term limits makes the entire Congress a lame duck session. Right now, we only have a period from the election in November until Congress starts on the 3rd of January is a lame duck session where a certain percentage of not reelected representatives and senators don't have any responsibility back to the people. But when we have term limits, 1/6 or 1/3 of the Senate will always be a lame duck session. And they will have, since they can't be reelected, they don't have any sense of duty back to the electorate, to the people that elected them. They only bear allegiance to the next person that's going to give them a job when they go back home. So they had, and people don't understand that back in the Articles of Confederation, we had term limits in Section 8, in Article 8 of the, where nobody could have more than 2 terms in the House. So we tried it before, and they knew it didn't work, and that's the reason they deliberately took it out of the Constitution.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a break for 3 minutes. When we come back, we'll finish this up and take your phone calls. If you got any questions, 866-89-LOGIC. Any comments, 866-895-6442. Don't forget, stream us live at logicnation.us. Social medias at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. And we replay the whole show all over again after the top of the hour news at 11 o'clock. See you on the other side.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. We're in the last segment of the third hour. Time goes by fast when you're having fun and lots of information coming at you. So Colonel wanted to finish up with a topic. So let me give him the mic. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. We're going to finish up here right quick. This is a lead-in. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Article 6, which is the enforcement clause, the enforcement article of the Constitution. And this thing we've been talking about, the Convention of States, there are a lot of people, they want to, once it's open, then everything goes away and we can have any kind of constitution we want. And the people that are pushing this have drafted replacement constitutions, which may well include a North American Union. And the Council on Foreign Relations, we had Bush standing with George W. Bush, standing with the president of Mexico and the leader of Canada, and they were going to have a common perimeter defense. They were going to join us, and they were talking about and denied the Amero. If you remember the pictures of the coin that was going to be the new coin for the North American Union, and that's what the USMCA is a shell document for a union of Mexico, Canada, and the United States.
All right, so you just bridged us. You got us prepped for tomorrow, and
we're going to find out what we should be doing and what we can do right now to enforce the Constitution.
And I'm always trying to keep you at the same time. I almost bumped you up a little bit because I thought you needed the time, but we're going to try and keep the Colonel at 10:30 so you can maintain your proper note-taking materials. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to make a mention on my business, Aaron's Gun Shop. We've got podcasts available at Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes. It's basically Prepper, guns, penal code, Constitution, Bill of Rights, interesting topics. So check that out. Also, we do license to carry class. I'm trying to set up another date due to this opening up here. I'm trying to figure out how to best to do it. I'm going to come up with a date or two so people can plug into it. But definitely seminars, self-defense and home invasion seminars. Those go fantastic. People love them when they do it. They learn all sorts of good things. And so if you go to aaronsgunshop.com and go to the High Cap Adventure page, you'll see the flyer in the top left-hand corner. I wanted to make a note that I've got access to a couple of firearms that are kind of tough to get at the moment. They're beautiful. If you're familiar with the Mossberg Shockwave Nightstick, what they are is the 26-inch overall length firearm that shoots 12 gauge, but it's got wooden furniture. It's beautiful. It reminds
got the bird's head grip, doesn't it?
Bird's head grip, corn cob front end. And the reason I like it, it's reminiscent to the military shotguns I used to carry. And so this is in a micro version. It's absolutely awesome. So if you go to aaronsgunshop.com and go to the YouTube channel, just look up Shockwave Heat Shield. I did a video, and you'll see mine, how I dressed it up. But I've got two available. They're going to go fast, throwing it out there in case somebody was looking, because I know guns are difficult to get at the moment. And you can give me a call there at the shop. Go to aaronsgunshop.com. You'll find the numbers, and you can give me a call, and we'll talk about it. But it's really cool. You'll love them. I used to design and make heat shields to go on top of them. I'm considering doing it again, but I got to find the right materials to do it with. But it looks really cool. Check it out. Also, the first Friday of the month is coming up, right, guys? I'm losing track of dates of time. First Friday of the month is coming up. I'm suspending normal practices at the gun range in the sense of special days. Like the first Friday is usually 2 for night. Due to the fact that I still got to maintain a certain number of people coming in, we're postponing that for now. The actual second week, the round robin competition, now that I can still do. I think we're going to try it this time, the second Friday of the month, to do the round robin competition, because I can put people in there in groups, small groups at a time, and rotate them through. all while maintaining the necessary distance. So if you're missing that type of competition, don't forget the second Friday is what that's all about. Now, I don't know about you guys, but this week, I'll tell you what, the shows have been going fast, but the week seems long. I think it's because we've gotten so much into the last 4 days.
I think part of it is just being impatient. It's like waiting for Christmas.
Waiting for Bill Barr is just like waiting for Christmas.
There's a lot of truth to that, Colonel.
I think, what were you talking about? Getting
I'm talking about our freedom. I'm talking about being able to walk up to somebody, shake their hand, say, hi, how you doing? Let's go get a hamburger.
Well, I can't wait till tomorrow because the state opens up 25%, and we're going to go out and get some late breakfast or an early lunch or something. And one of my favorite sayings of the day will be, excuse me, miss, can you please refill my coffee? I can't wait to do that. All right. We're going to take a 21-hour break, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Bill, Colonel, thank you very much. All the callers, Jim, if you're still listening, thank you very much for coming on. We'll be back in 21 hours to start it all over again. Until then, God bless. Keep your powder dry.